Hey, 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 hey to my awesome women over 40, close to 50, like me. Y'all know I'm on a mission to help y'all get married and stay married and attract the love you desire and deserve and live your best life, sis. I really am. I want you to. I want you to. So today I got a lot to talk about. Hold on, let me get situated. I have a lot to talk about. Grab your tea, or if you're in the car, focus. I don't move from this area, so I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Well, I don't watch them while I'm driving, but I listen to them while I'm driving, and because I have that YouTube Red, so I don't get them commercials and stuff. And it's fun. So today, I got a bunch of notes because this is going to be a different type of video because I have found that there is a tremendous need for support for married women, especially in second and third beyond marriages. Um, there are support groups for alcoholics. There are support groups for, those recovering, excuse me, from alcoholism or recovering from addictions or recovering from pornography or abuse or whatever. But it doesn't seem like there are support groups for women that want successful marriages. There are support groups for divorcees, support groups for, grief, support groups for narcissistic personality disorder, support groups for betrayal. And so, I'm not trying to create no huge business from this, but I want to help women understand how to stay married. I am in a third marriage, and a lot of the things that I know now, I'm like, oh, things just start to repeat themselves the more relationships you're in, especially in marriages. So the focus today is going to be centered around the topic of marriage, divorce support groups, but I have my notes here. So I'm going to talk about marriage and divorce, support groups, the challenges, hobbies, and joy. So starting with marriage and divorce, 50% of all first marriages end in divorce. 50%. Out of second marriages, on my notes here, 67%. And when you get to third, 73%. And here's the thing. There are only 5% of people that actually go third or beyond. 5%. My husband and I are in the 5%. He's in the third, I'm in a third. We are each other's third spouses. Like that's unheard of. So that puts us up in like the just 1 out of 20 people are like, yeah, I would do this again. Most people are like, you did it 3 times? Oh my God. But I know I have an aunt that did it 7 times, my grandma's aunt. And I actually know someone else. I know several people. I know one lady had like 9 marriages, 7. So like I know people that have had multiple marriages, but the likelihood from even your first marriage is it's a 50% chance. So if I gave you, if I put something in front of you and said 50-50 chance that the box that you open, it used to be a show, a game show, and then you go to the boxes, 50-50 chance that there's a $1 million behind this box and 50-50 chance that there's somebody that's going to shoot you behind the other. You're going to die. Which box would you choose? Or would you just say, hey, I don't want to play? Most of you don't want to play because you're so full of fear and you're like, I just don't want it to fail. And I get it. I get it. If 50% of marriage is the first one, 67% the second one, and 73% the third one, you like real like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's heart-wrenching. But you'll get in relationships with people, you'll have babies with people and spend lifetimes communicating with people, but you don't want to make that commitment. And again, I can understand why. I can understand why you all feel like this, but I do hold the core belief. I was talking to my hairdresser. Y'all, I just came from the gym Pilates. My hair is wrapped up because I sweated a little bit. I got a sweatband on and my hair wrapped. So that's why y'all see me like this. But if you've watched my videos before, like this is just who I am. I've been online since 2009. My name really is Montina. I am a Googleable person. I'm pretty active online in my community. I've owned a company 10 years. So this is just what it is. I am not growing a business in this space. So it's just me sharing and wanting, sharing and caring, really. I want to educate, inspire, and share information to help you thrive in life and thrive in business on my other channel, Spark Wisdom. But this is serious. Like I'm getting older and realizing like, who is supporting us? If you tell a woman you having challenges in your marriage, older or young, number one, most of the older women are so bitter from their relationships. They're widows now, and they're like, oh my God, he cheated. We know he had a family on the other side of town. Pretty much all your grandmas or great grandmas' husbands have families on the other side of town. Okay. 23andMe is telling a lot of y'all's business. Okay. Even for me, it's telling some things, some telltale things like, well, we didn't know this. Grandma was a hoe. So again, marriage, you're going in, if the mindset is, hey, I want this to work, but 50% fail, what are you doing to make sure and ensure that it's successful? And then on the opposite end, 20% is going to be chaotic. And then what are you going to do when people are just like, yep, divorce is the answer, but you truly don't want a divorce? You're just going through a valley in your marriage. So let's get on. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, marriage and divorce. Let me look at my notes. I wanted to make sure you knew those stats. Oh, let me give you some more stats. Years 1 and 2 are very risky, very risky. Years 3 and 4, moderately risky or mild risky, mild risk. 5 to 8, very risky. 9 to 15, lower risk. And 15 plus, you just low risk. Like you're just going to stay because you've been in it so long. Maybe. But 5 to 8 is actually very risky. So even if you make it to that 10-year mark, it's like, oh, we got there. But what did y'all go through to get there? So again, the things that I'm going to talk about today are going to lead up to something that I'm going to be starting. And I'm pretty excited about. So stay to the end. So the second thing is support group. So I recently joined a support group for something that's just going on in my life that I felt like, hey, I need a support group behind this. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this support group. We meet every single day. It's on my calendar now. I may not have time to meet, but then I get a replay of what was said or done that day. And I'm like, this is fantastic. So it's fantastic. It's a daily like group coaching, but it's just a daily support group, like boom, infusion of just yes, if you want to do it. And it's live. So I already have a therapist. I've had therapy my whole life for different things because I had childhood trauma, y'all. My life was jacked up. Sometimes I be like, God, what was you doing with, listen, but I love him. He's so faithful to me. But I have a therapist. I have a life coach that I celebrate life with. I love meeting my life coach. I have a business advisor. I am a business advisor. I have a business coach. I have a marriage counselor that I go to. And I have a lot of friends. I have family. I have, excuse me, y'all, I have allergies. I have allergies. But I have friends. I have family. I'm very intentional about relationships. I have very healthy relationships. But that has not always been the case for me. That has not always been the case for me. And I'm going to talk about that. I have in my notes I'm going to tell y'all a story about that. Here it is. I don't want to miss it. One of my girlfriends has just a husband that just, he really doesn't really like her to go a lot of places or hang out with a lot of women. And she's like, I just don't understand why he's like that. I want my own individual life and, he can do his thing and then we come together. And as women, that's what we want because we are communal, right? We love community pretty much. But I told her, I understand how he feels because I know someone on the opposite end where his wife had a lot of time on her hands. And I know several men actually with their wives with this, but they go out to the sororities and things have happened as they got older. Women complain. And in one instance, the woman ended up becoming an alcoholic, drug addict, and I don't want to say prostitute, but just destroyed her marriage after like 30 years. So there's both sides of this. I told her, she's one of my neighbors. And I said, well, if I see your husband outside and I'm riding down the street, I'm just going to wave and keep going. But, there are women that are going to stop. When I introduce my husband to people, I refer to him as Mr. and then, Ash's last name. I'm very mindful of being very respectful to people's husbands, but people, all women aren't like that. So like I said, I can understand why this is the case. So that's why I wanted to mention that from a support group standpoint. Some of you all need to hear, some of the things that are going on, hear from older women, younger women. I'm just going to lead it. It's just going to be anonymous. So yes, I'm going to be starting a support group, but stay to the end. Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry, but I can't edit these because I don't have time. I don't have time. And then here's the thing, challenges. There are so many challenges in marriage. And I know you're probably like, well, Montana, you done made all these videos about your marriage. Yeah, you know what? I have, but the reality is 73% of marriages fail, third marriages. So it's not like I don't have valleys too. Like I am so self-aware, but when I need help, see, I have girlfriends I can call, but I don't trauma bond with them. I might just say, hey, girl, I need you to pray for me. I need my wisdom, strength, peace, joy, comfort, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, like we get it. Most of my friends are married. If they're single, I don't trauma bond with people. So I have very healthy boundaries and healthy relationships that have come from investing in therapy, investing in books, investing in, materials and educational support groups. So I'm not vomiting all of my trauma on people. So many of you are having some health challenges. So Excuse me, y'all. Let me drink some. And I've suffered with some brain fog over the years here and there. Just when you have stress in your life, you can't think. You're like, oh my gosh. So trauma bonds and oversharing. Some of you guys with your friendships, they're inappropriate. And I'm not talking about men, women and men. I'm talking about you. Your friends don't want to answer your calls because all you do is talk about your trauma. Or my husband this, my husband that, my husband. You're trauma bonding. I had someone very recently was just oversharing, and I'm like, do you have a therapist? Yeah, I could recommend one. You cannot trauma dump on me. I'm not a therapist. And if I was, you'd have to pay me to trauma dump on me anyway. When I get my therapist on the phone, that's when I trauma dump that's when I dump the stuff that's tough going on in my life, because that's what they're there for. They help me turn things that hurt into things that heal, because then I can turn that healing on and inspire you. So again, you're going to go through challenges in your marriage. I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry. I know sometimes you just like in the valley, like, and maybe you're married to someone that love bombed you in the beginning and you're married to them, or they're a narcissist and you're married to them, or 20% of them, you're like, Montina, I don't like this. And I get it. But do you want to stay, or do you want to be out there and play again? Like, what is it? Because if he ain't cheating you or beating you, as Dr. Laura Schlesinger say, I have her books here, Addictions, Abuse, or Adultery, then like, I don't know. And financial abuse is addiction is abusive too. Because some men don't work. Some men just, and they be like, well, that ain't, no. Y'all need to be, together in this, or he's the provider, y'all 50-50 or whatever. But it takes two to tango in a marriage. Okay. Um, all right, let's see here. The fourth one here is you need hobbies, sis. And here's where this becomes important. Many of you are miserable in your marriages, and I keep saying his job isn't to make you happy, but your job isn't to make him happy either. But you don't have anything to do that fulfills your life. Like, I am so full of life. Like, I came from Pilates. I do yoga, bar, cycle. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I cycle at 6 a.m. And you can do it 6 p.m. I go 6 p.m. on Mondays. I go to the hairdresser every week, which I recently started back up and should have stayed in, because that's part of my self-care, which is part of my mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Because we talk. We're not gossiping. We're talking. When I was in my 20s, I couldn't wait to get to the hair salon. That was like our spot. People come in selling food and CDs and purses. It was my spot. And it's turned back into that for me. I Chicago step. I'm going to be doing competitions. I paint. What else do I do? Like, I have brunches. Like, I have things that I do that I enjoy with other people. So my habits are very healthy. Some of you all are just like smothering him, or he wants you around all the time and you don't have an identity outside of him. I went to the senior activity center, y'all. Okay, I'm going to start the crochet, the sewing. So you need to be doing things to feed your soul. Well, Montina, maybe he'll think I'm too busy. That's between you and him. I don't know. My husband and I can only speak for I don't really want to talk about my husband in my videos, because this is really just about me. But for me, with the type of person that I am, I need these things. I'm in business. I need a creative outlet. So I go with Chicago Step on like Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday for my lessons. I have an online instructor. His name is Chalk. Hey, Chalk, if y'all want online, instruction, let me know and I'll, get you his information. You can join me online and learn, because it's an online group of us. So you all need things to do. And I want you to hear from other women. Now, older women, 50, 60 years, their husbands didn't want them out and about, but it's healthy for us to be out and about. It's healthy for us to have hobbies. It's healthy for us to have things to do. That's where your happy comes in, which leads me to the next thing, that it's your joy. The joy of the Lord is our strength. Now, this, y'all know, listen, if you're not Christian, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your happiness, like people, when they meet me, they're like, you're so fun. You're so different. Something special about you, because I'm happy. Life is good. Even in my worst days are still better than most people's best days, because I'm not looking for anyone to make me happy. My happiness is my responsibility. And I have a friend this morning was kind of down at Pilates class, and I sent her a text after class. Hey, class was great. Really thinking of you. I invite people to go out with me. I say, hey, what are you doing? I met one lady, at the time of this video this week, and she's like, I don't, do anything. I don't have any friends. And I was like, why? My grandmother said, as we get older, especially as women, we need friendships. You guys have had, I get it. Listen, I've had my fair share of some crazy people too. And it's just because when you're young, you overshare. You overshare and you trauma bond with people. So then when you don't have the trauma anymore, you've healed from the hurt. They still want to talk about the hurt and you've moved beyond it. Okay, we bonding over men and dogs, girl, but then you find you a good man, okay, and you're happy, and then some things happen in your marriage and you share and you overshare, and then y'all bonds again. No, be healthy and happy. Get you a therapist. That's why I said be your finest, fit, feminine, friendly, fun, interesting, nice, exciting, energetic, sexy, sassy. Get therapy. I'm gonna stop saying trauma free because I don't know if we completely heal from trauma. Get therapy. Okay. What's the next thing here? So, all my notes. Did I cover all my notes? Yes, yes, yes. So here's what I'm going to do. So I am in a support group and I love it. Okay. I am in a support group that I need it. I feel like this is a situation going on. Here's what it is. And it's daily support, daily coaching. And then, like I said, outside with my hobbies and coupled with my therapy and my life coach and my business and my advisors and entrepreneurship centers and the things that I do. And I'm just like, wow, life is good. Now, for me, that excites me. I'm going to be a part-time adjunct professor at a college. I'm going to be doing some work at Georgia Tech this summer, y'all. It's going to be so exciting. So I have a lot on my plate, but they're all things that recharge me. I don't do things that are for me like Monday. Like I'm not unhappy with anything in my life. If you don't like your job, get you a business coach so you can get out that job, or not a business coach, a professional career coach so you can move on to something else. Okay. Excuse me. So the support group works for me. And I'm like, man, and even for my business, I do something every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Called Connecting the Dots in the great state of Georgia. So it's like I've noticed people love coming to that call. So I'm going to start this. I'm saying in June, it might start sooner. And I'm planning it to be about 7:30 in the morning. And oh my God, Monty, this early. Well, get up and get moving. If it doesn't work for you, catch the replay. I can't catch my coaching call every day, so I catch the replay. And it'll probably run maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. This is not going to be like a Bible study call. I don't need you to pray for me. I can pray for myself, but I feel like we need to have some real conversations just as women. So I'll have like an agenda set up. No camera. No one's going to be live on camera. So you can jump in the shower, be in the car, get ready for work, sit at your desk. Submissions for, like, we're going to do like a Q&A if you want to submit or just you want to share something and women on the line provide input. There will be a private form. Only person that will get that form is me. And like I said, I'm leading this. Maybe the first couple of calls, I'll lead it, meaning, I'll talk about, things that are of importance, like I found in my support group. And really, this is part of the Happy Wife Project support group. Like, I want you to be a happy wife, happy spouse, happy house, not happy wife, happy life, happy spouse. Be a happy spouse. Be happy, be recharged. But if you have some frustrations, maybe you send that in. And as a collective, none of us we just help each other. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in a divorce support group. I want to be in a marriage support group. And like I said, from a biblically based, I get it, but this is just not a prayer call. Some of y'all y'all need to hear some real things because you're going through some real things, and the people in your life are saying, "Well, just get rid of them and start over." Why? It's the same. I keep telling you, it's the same poop poop. Okay, this is a different toilet, but it's all the same. Stick in it. And there's no one telling you that. Stick in it. Because when I talk to people, my hairdresser said, "You are such an advocate for marriage." I said, "Yeah, I like relationships." So if you're watching my videos, you probably do too. Like, something I do too. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Now, y'all know I am a Leo, but this is my personality. I love being loved. I love loving. I love being kind. I love showing my husband attention. I love making him feel special. I like when he's in control. But guess what? It's not rainbows and unicorns every day. 80% of everything that you probably love and adores in that man, and 20% you might hate. It might be tough to deal with. It might be like, oh my God, again. But if you hear other women, you submit your challenge. Wow. And we want to celebrate successes because depending on who you're married to, some of you all are married to people with narcissistic personality disorders, and you can't share with them all of the amazing things going on in your life. But with us, you can. Like, hey, does anybody have something we can celebrate with them? It's your birthday. Oh my God, you got promoted. Oh my goodness. Oh, whatever. Okay. So I plan on starting this in June. And again, I'm wrapping my mind around what all of this looks like. Any suggestions, let me know. This video is also going into my Patreon society because this is where you're going to access the link. I don't care if you even join up as a free person. You got to come over to Patreon. And I would prefer that you all decide to be a part of the community, because it makes sense. Excuse me, it makes sense to be part of the community. You know, well, you know what? You do need to pay, because I do pay for my daily support, my support group. I pay for it. And it's a matter of time. If you want to assist, hey, I'm here for you. I'm not a life coach. Okay. I am a woman that has been married that wants you to stay married, especially my first time. I'm trying to marriage. I know some of you like, because I can feel your spirit. Marriage is hard, Martina. I get it. But if you can press through, your first marriage can be your third marriage, right? You just press through. Your second marriage can be your second marriage. Just press through. Or you can come to me with a third marriage and just press through. We are getting to an age for some of you, I'm telling you, listen, at that senior citizen center, I'm sitting around 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds alone. Well, he just want a nurse and a purse. So do you, because many of you have health challenges. I saw women with walkers and cane. Why do y'all act like you don't see your grandmas and great grandmas? My grandma's 86 and she lives by herself and she's fine. But it's a rarity. Most aren't. I'm telling you, go visit a senior citizen center. Some of y'all 50, 60 years old. I'm going to the VFW post. I go to my Chicago step-in and I'm looking like, why are you guys 67, 68 years old going home by yourselves? Why are women in their 60s with their backs out? With this one lady had her back out. She was gorgeous with a lace top on with nipple covers on. You're somebody's grandmother. Okay. I'm Mars is my grandson. I'm Mars' grandmother. Okay. And I have my granddaughter too. I don't want to say her name because I don't know if her mother will allow me, but I'm a grandma. So things you need support. I don't want you to divorce. Now, if you want to divorce, don't just go to another channel. My channel is set up for Happy Wife Project. You're not going to be happy all the time. That man is going to work your freaking nerves. You will feel like choking him some days. Like, oh my God. Breathe. Because other women feel like that too. You are not the only woman on the planet with challenges. Oh, and if you're not married, like, I want to be a part of it. Join the Happy Wife Project. Come on over here. It's in my Patreon. This is a support group. And again, it's going to be every day. For now, 7:30 a.m. is a time I can commit to because, I'm coming from the gym. I typically have a 6 a.m. class or I do 5:45 a.m. to like 6:45 cycle class. I know I can commit. I got to commit to this too, right? But I need some of y'all women that have been 20, 30 years in marriage, 10. Well, let me see here. Or my success rates. Yeah, over 10. I need y'all. Yeah, we need you. I'm telling you, we gotta figure this out together. We have to have this grit. Our grandmas had it. So get you a journal. I'm gonna open up my Patreon. I think there's a $10, $25, or maybe it's just the $25. I don't know. But get over there. Okay, that's all I can say. Hold on, y'all gotta get rid of this. Oh, sorry, y'all. Get over there. Okay, do something different. You don't have to be alone in marriage, but we need a marriage support group, and who knows what this can grow out of. Maybe we can create this and y'all can get some meetups. I don't know. I do want it to be anonymous at first because I think that some of you all are silently suffering because I can feel it. I talk to you. And then some of you have never been married because you see people silent. You're like, I'd rather be by myself. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because when I talk to you, you're like, man, there are good men in this world, but these men, they have things that come with them, and a lot of them are love bombing, and a lot of them are narcissists, and they have these very odd behaviors, and but a lot of it is, I hate to say, is normal. You talk to enough married women and they just be like, look, you learn how to get through some of that, because at the end of the day, he comes home, he pays these bills, he's a good man, and they know that 80% is what they want. I've heard this said to me in my past, 80% everything you want is here, and 20% is find that 80% that you love, and that 20% find someplace else with your habits, your hobbies, your self-care, your self-maintenance. Many of you are not doing enough for yourself. You're not even going to the gym. And listen, I ain't no skinny mini. I'm curvy, y'all. I'm curvy. Okay. Because sometimes I woke up this morning, my little tummy I was like, what is going on? Menopause, perimenopause. But you're not going at all. You're like, I'm just going to work out at home. Get around people. Make new friends. Be friendly. Okay? Y'all are just, that's why when women meet me, they're like, oh my God, you're so nice, because I'm intentional about it. Because I know that I'm going to grow old and I want some girlfriends. My grandma, I call her, what you doing? I'm out to lunch. I went with my girlfriends. I'm getting my hair done. I'm getting my nails done. I did something at the church. And now I see the senior activity center, because I'm joining. It's 55 plus. And my husband's over 55, so I get to join. And I'm going to go to the classes. I'm getting into public service, so seniors vote. See, I want you all to talk about your goals. So again, I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but this is my thoughts on it. And I'm going to do it. Whether one person shows up, hell, I might be by, well, at least one will show up. But join the Patreon. That's where all the information will be listed. And I would love to have you, if you want a support group, if you don't want to do marriage by yourself. So either get in a marriage support group or a divorce support group. Because either way, 50% of you going to be over here in a divorce group and 50% going to be in a marriage group. And we're going to build each other up. Okay. So this is my mark in the world. One of my marks. Y'all, I got a lot going on, but life is good. God is faithful. And I'm cheering for you to win. I promise. Marriage is, if it was easy, then it'd be 100% success rate. That's what people don't realize. But like I said, if he ain't cheating you or beating you, sis, the addictions is what Dr. Lauren Sessinger says. Addictions, abuse, or adultery. I heard her say that like it's probably about 20 years ago. And it's the truth. If he ain't addicted, and it could be any, addiction, like I said, abuse or adultery. And some of y'all adultery, some things you might want to get through. You better stay. Go back and watch my video on the 12 things, to sustain your marriage. Stay. Okay. You can get through this. We can get through this together. And again, if it's miserable, I get you. My thing is miserable. Well, why aren't you happy? It's you, sis. It's you. I'll be saying it's you, sis. It's you. I have to make me happy. I have to make me happy. I love Chicago stepping. Okay. And I'm getting good too, y'all. Oh, plus my little videos. I am getting really good. Like I want to compete in Chicago in nationals. Good. Beginner. I'm gonna be like a really, really beginner. But they have a beginner, but it's a goal. I want to do public service, get on a board, be city council, maybe be a mayor one day. I have 2 uncles that were mayors, first African-American mayors in Ohio. But I have goals. Sis, what goals do you have? You guys have to have more than sitting up here complaining about your husband, whether it's to God, whether it's to your church. Get around a support group where you just can be recharged and refreshed. The joy of the Lord is your strength, okay? All right, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my little cough, y'all. It's I don't know. I know. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all. Join the Patreon, thehappywifeproject.com.